Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's question has 3 answers, and the third answer is a secret as to where the true value in the self-publishing show comes into play. So let's get into it. The question that was sent in today was, is the self-publishing show worth watching? So you've started publishing, or you're interested in publishing and you're trying to learn more, and you've heard about the self-publishing show with Mark Dawson, and you want to know, is this the right place for you to go? And sometimes it can be a little bit tricky because you see there's an awful lot of people who are selling products, selling courses, doing training, doing interviews, giving comments, all sorts of stuff. And there's just so much material out there. And so it's just not clear if maybe this is the right program, or if it would lead you astray, or if it would cost you too much money, or what exactly you ought to do. And that is what I'm hoping I can answer today for you. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Go and click the subscribe bell if you'd like for me to make more videos like this one, and check below in the description and grab my free self-publishing checklist that will help you get started on your self-publishing journey. So let's get into it. Is self-publishing show worth watching? And the answer that I found was that, well, let me just start right from the beginning. When I first got into self-publishing several years ago, I discovered also multiple podcasts and different shows that you could do. And like Mark Dawson, he's got has a podcast. He has his YouTube channel which has the video version of the podcast as well. And when I first got into self-publishing, I actually did, in fact, listen to Mark Dawson because he didn't have his own show at the time, but he was going on the podcasts that I did listen to and was going through the different strategies. And the funny thing is, I even remember emailing back and forth with Mark Dawson when he was going to come out with his Facebook list, his Facebook course, where he was teaching how exactly to do that. And that was even before that. And he had initially set up kind of the idea of how do you get in touch with readers and how do you use Facebook. Since that time, the price and cost of doing ads on Facebook, I remember running ads on Facebook, I remember other people as well, for books, and discovering that Facebook doesn't work really well unless you have a really good funnel. In his case, he was giving away a whole pile of books at the time and getting readers excited about his specific fiction books, and this was an incredibly effective technique at that time. Since then, I think Facebook has gone up. He was getting, I don't know what it was, but the return on investment was unbelievably hii. And so he had my attention just because he was, in fact, so unbelievably successful. So the question then is self-publishing show worth watching? And here are the answers. So the first one is yes, the podcast YouTube show is definitely worth checking out. So this is something you're definitely going to want to do. And the reason being is because he goes through a whole series of things. They do reviews of self-publishing news. They take a look at tips on running Amazon ads, which I also am a very big fan of running Amazon ads for your books as a main way of bringing traffic and finding new readers. And the other is to help you stay motivated. Just listening to people going through tactics and tricks and things like that really help you keep going, which is the number one reason people fail is not because you're choosing a poor strategy. It's just because you quit. And so the mind game, the head game, is about 80% of all of this. The ability to keep on producing content, the ability to write 1,000 words a day for your books, the ability to find better covers, find better keywords to put your books on, finding the topics and things that people are already looking for. And the secret answer to today is that different podcast and YouTube videos can give small tips that can increase your book sales and motivation. And it doesn't actually matter so much which ones, because most of them really aren't leading you astray as long as they're giving useful information. We don't know what type of information that you hear. You can even hear the same information you've heard before, but just listening and staying in touch with this sort of information can help you stay motivated, and maybe something will click for you and you'll realize, wait, I've not been doing this. There is one side that you need to be careful about. It is the overwhelm if you're hearing too many things you need to do at the same time. And that's one reason why at selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, we're trying to break things down and keep it as simple as possible. So if you're doing nothing, then we do a bit of something. If you're making progress and managing to get stuff produced, well, then how can we make it a little bit better? And it's this progression, this iteration, and slowly getting better and better with the content that we're producing, that we over time are able to increase our sales, stay motivated, and stay in the game for a long period of time. And that, my friends, is the key to success. And that's the reason why I would definitely recommend you check out his podcast, or you can watch it on YouTube. He has a YouTube show. Very useful information. And I particularly enjoy listening to the news aspects of the show. And maybe you might have something else. So is the self-publishing show worth watching or listening to? Why don't you tell me what you have found below in the description? Are you a follower? Have you taken the courses that he's had? I have not. I've taken his free course, but I have not taken any of his paid courses. It would be interesting to hear if you have found success when doing these specific courses that he has, and what Mark Dawson, he's a great guy. And so definitely worth checking out. And look up above me here, and you will see more answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.